Ich habe wirklich 2024 rausgehört. Naja, Lorville.
Ich glaube,
Hello,
4-2.
my name's Ian Leyland
4-5.
and I'm the art director for Star Citizen, and today we're going to talk about an internal initiative called Lorville 2.0.
Er macht alles.
Now with Lorville and specifically
Nein, ist
the
ja auch
Lorville
Art Director,
cityscape,
macht ja,
it was
also Art Designer,
probably
macht ja
the
Sinn.
first major landing zone we'd have ever had to do. It was the first time we put a landing zone on a planet and we had the player fly there with minimal restrictions, although it did have that really big no-fly zone. But when we did subsequent landing zones, we built up a bit more of a knowledge base and experience base about how we can effectively introduce cityscapes. So Area 18, New Babbitt, Horizon, we all developed more techniques and we always wanted to go back internally and put that knowledge back into Lorville. To start us off, I'll throw it over to Eric, our principal concept artist, and he can show you some more.
Hi, my name is Eric Gagnon. I'm a principal concept artist for Star Citizen and Turbulent.
Hat sich angehört, als würde er selber nicht wissen, wie er
And I'm
heißt.
here to talking
Hat er
about
gemacht wegen
Lorville
Jared.
2.0.
Ja.
When I started to work on the concept, initially what I did is to create a variety of sketches, black and white sketches of a different approach of that city. We create a side panel of a silhouette of the building. Mainly the reason we need to work on that is for mainly gameplay issues, because we would like to make a gameplay in the interior buildings, and we need to create a bigger city to let the player have a fun experience to flying through that. Yeah, so after the sketching process and get some approval, I need to know very well the footprint of that city. We build a city from a human scale, you know. We have nothing in that city, they build in a gray zone. So everything is built from that unit, and it's built from the unit of the CBD. So this is mainly the two main units I used to build a city. So we have a kind of a proportion in terms of lengths and distances to respect. So this is why I used the 3D basis to working on that. So I need to make sure that the ratio of everything fits well to approach closely as possible. So mainly the goal is not to dig right away on the details, but it's to stay on the big picture and to see if the skyline makes sense. So this is a good challenge to play with that, and I think I did a nice job on that, because at the end, what the feeling we have, it's like a real city. So I use my 2D background in concept artist to make the best as possible concept art with all the techniques inside of it, 3D, paint over, sketching, painting, and at the end, I was needed to create a very speechless concept to sell the mandate to the people involved in that, and they make sure they believe on that project, and they could say, well, okay, now we are a Lorville 2.0 and we're ready to moving on that.
Thanks, Eric. There's some beautiful image there, and we had a lot of fun internally developing that cityscape. Now we're not
Wie er
just
sagt, ne, es
in
fühlt sich
concept
jetzt,
development.
durch die
We've actually
Bilder
just
sieht man
passed our
schon, es fühlt sich
white
halt mehr wie eine
milestone
Stadt an,
internally,
als
so we're going to jump over to
wie
Max, and he's
ein
going to show you where we're at.
Industriekomplex.
Bonjour,
So.
mon nom est Maxime Guindon.
Ah.
Je suis chef environnement artiste sur le projet Star Citizen. Mon mandat en ce moment est Lorville 2.0. Premièrement, je voudrais dire bonjour à la communauté francophone de Star Citizen, à toute la communauté en fait. Ce que vous faites, ce que vous partagez m'inspire énormément dans mon travail.
Ja, okay.
From the concepts done, it was time to start
danke.
an engine.
Ich dachte schon, er redet
And
nie wieder auf Englisch.
we've had to evaluate what was possible to do and to extend or to make it much bigger than the initial Lorville
Ja, es
city,
macht halt auch
up
einfach
to
Sinn.
something that
Ja.
matches the ambition. For instance, we are keeping the L19 area. We are keeping the CBD. We're keeping the spaceport, and we're building upon this and just extending the city. We've done several tests with the transit system, the rails, and we try to extend it out a bit. We're keeping the same number of gates, but we're moving them out. And so throughout these tests, we've built the city as just
Ja, hoffentlich, Maru.
Ich hatte gehofft, sie werden ein
white
bisschen
box,
kürzer.
very primitive.
Nee, ich finde das gerade geil, dass
Dass
man auch mal 10 Minuten in so einem Zug steht. Ich finde das mega
Also,
gut.
es ist gut für die Immersion
done,
auf
and
alle
then
Fälle, ja.
that we could see it and get feedback on it. So it will feel more like a believable
Das sollte halt in
city.
jeder Stadt so sein. Guck mal, A-Corp, da musst du
hope
eigentlich
it to
eine
be
Stunde
fun
durch die Stadt
to
laufen, bis
fly
du was
around.
findest, was du,
And,
was du haben willst. So, fänd ich.
like to actually do some races in it. We're building
wie schön.
arches, bridges, and like underpasses, and it makes it interesting to be able to fly around. We see the community of players. They're doing like emergent gameplay of races, and that inspires us. And then the way that we're building the city. We are starting now the gray box. We have like Montreal's tools teams now that are working on like Houdini tools, and we're chatting with them, see what we could use from the library of tools.
Kann aber einer fliegen
There
hier.
will be several areas of like a higher
Und
level
die
of
Landingpads und
detail,
so sind cool da.
especially around landing pads on rooftops and lookout areas.
Ja, dann kannst du da wahrscheinlich auch wieder Pakete
These are the
hinliefern.
places where the players
Es gibt
will
ja
be
jetzt schon ein
able
paar
to
Missionen,
land.
wo
These will
Microtech, wo
eventually
du
connect
Pakete
Genau.
auf die
to
Dächer
the
bringen musst.
interior
Gab's hier noch
spaces
nicht.
that will be built later.
Gibt's auch einen
And in that
A-Corp.
sense, Lorville will be ready for those interiors. We started as a team of 2 artists working on Lorville, and now we're 5. And we could even be like more soon. Each artist has slightly different skill sets, and we
Das, was die da
complete each
gerade
other.
machen,
They bring
hasse ich so
ideas. I
sehr.
let them bring
Ich
ideas
finde
to the
Texturen
table,
auf
how
was
to,
bringen, ist eine der
what we're doing,
für
make it
mich
kick-ass.
blödsten Sachen
That's
so
really
im Game
important.
Development.
So I hope you'll like what you see, and we can't wait to show you more. I'm happy about the opportunity of working on this mandate, because it's gonna make such a huge difference.
Bei ihm hört man
Thanks,
auch das
Max.
Französisch nicht
That's
so raus.
looking
Ne?
great. And hopefully you guys can kind of see, even in a white boxing format, we're seeing really good scale reads and understanding about how
Geil.
we can make
Mag ich.
the cityscape of Lorville probably one of our best yet. And we'll be showing more soon. Thanks for letting us showcase that for you today. Enjoy the rest
Oh,
of
ist
the
aber
show.
ein kurzer Showcase gewesen. Aber ich finde es, also, war bitter nötig. Guck dir das mal an. Guck dir den Unterschied
nice.
an. Vorher war das halt wirklich nur so ein Gebiet, so ein bisschen, das war ein Industriegebiet. Das hier ist halt eine
Live.
Stadt. Ja. Das ist einfach eine Stadt.
Ja, das ist echt fett.
Wahnsinn. Ja, das muss natürlich bleiben auch.
Ja, nur die Rohre müssen da sein.
Das Kackrohr muss da sein, wo es hingehört. Das finde ich finde das mega schön.
Ja, ich freue mich auch drauf, dass man jetzt näher durchfliegen kann. Ich weiß noch, dass ich früher Riesenprobleme hatte, als sie diese krasse Exclusion Zone hatten, wo du nicht fliegen konntest. Ich weiß noch, dass ich mit der Marbo mal versucht habe, mit der Reclaimer da zu landen. Und wir sind irgendwann einfach nur total krass abgestürzt, weil der Autopilot mich überall hingelenkt hat und nicht da, wo ich hin wollte.
Ich war auch schon 1000-mal mit dem Autopiloten irgendwo. Ach, richtig schön. Richtig schön. Ah, geil. Geil.
Cool, jetzt kommt Powerplay. Resource Management.
So you've
Multi-crew.
taken the one that had the most egregious no-fly zone, and you're making it so we can just race through the canyons and under the bridges and everything. I want to ask you the same question I asked John Crew. Is this BS, or is this really what we're doing?
No, that's what we're doing, and hopefully you can see in the B-roll that you can actually see it. And, you know, no-fly zones, you know, they were there for a reason at the time, but as we grow, as we learn, we find ways to have a better player experience with that regard. And if you see it, how we got things working with New Babbage, then we started thinking, okay, there is a slightly different way. Because ultimately, that no-fly zone there is for a reason. It's not because, oh, you know what would be really cool, right? It's like, you know, we want to keep the player experience in, you know, the maximum level. So it's there. But for Lorville, as you've seen, you know, we want that experience to be as low as possible to get that feeling where you can weave in between the structures, weave in between the buildings. And it was always something like, as we progressed through the landing zones, it was always like, one day we'll get back to Lorville. So I'm super happy that we're seeing this now.
And, you know, we discussed the art pipeline for years. You know, like I said, we're here for celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. We've been talking about how games are developed, and we've gone through the pipeline a number of times, from white box to gray box to stuff like that. Where would you say Lorville is? Obviously, what we were just seeing there is not finished.
Final art, we're in the final art phase. So basically, block out white box is obviously self-explanatory. Interestingly, grey box phase, I'm thinking more like first pass art. You know, so we're always trying to keep the team on the toes. But grey boxing is terminology that we've used on all art disciplines, and it's kind of. But when you're using kits, and you're in grey boxing, you're not actually traditionally grey boxing. So we'll probably just call it like first pass art. But where Lorville is right now, we just passed the grey box review gate a few weeks back, so it's final art now. So we're on the really interesting part where we're doing, you know, really good engine look dev. I mean, you're seeing hints at the potential in engine, but there's still a few hurdles that we need to get over.
Well, that was a look at Lorville Redux. Just on another step on our journey to 4.0. I do want to clear up some of the misconceptions that we're seeing in the chat here. Our journey to 4.0 is more akin to a journey to 4.x. The things that we're showing you today are not a list of this is what's in 4.0. Some of this will be in 4.0, like the planets and moons of Pyro and stuff like this. Other things will be in 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and we'll know which as we get closer to development. Anybody that's followed the project long enough knows that that's how this works. But everything you're seeing on today's show here is everything that's in the process, in the pipeline, being developed now for 4, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and so forth. And before we jump to the next one, I want to shout out a couple of the other promotions that are going on. The digital goodies pack is going out there. You get a Finley plushie. It's not called Finley anymore. It's called Francis. I should look at that beforehand. There's a new jumpsuit that's being given to everybody, and grenade launchers with a cool new skin. That's free to all backers. Just register your account and pick up any one of the pledge packages and whatnot, and that stuff's yours. The Toby eye tracker contest is going on right now. Send us your in-game watch party screenshot for a chance to win. I know there are a number of watch parties going on right now. Shout out to the folks down in San Diego who I saw on Twitter earlier. The JRDF contest.
Ich habe nicht gedacht, dass es live ist tatsächlich.
JR Design and Fabrication. Create a ship model using only ordinary and random household objects for a chance to win. They make these models that you see here. The wonderful
Powerplay.
Star Kitten,
Resource Management.
Dragonfly.
Werden jetzt die Hammerhead zeigen.
Ian's
Die
camera.
neue Variante der Hammerhead werden sie jetzt wahrscheinlich zeigen und was in der
Oh, it's
Hammerhead
not
so
focused.
passiert.
Hold on, let me get closer to his face. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. No. Stay down there. Look at my Star Kitten Dragonfly in focus because I'm holding it near Ian's face. Isn't that great?
Just smell it.
What did it smell like?
I thought about tasting it.
JRD Fabrications are the makers of these wonderful Star Citizen models. They have an entire array. You can check it out the website, or you can enter the contest for your chance to win a Carrack, a Freelancer, or a Cyclone. And then don't forget the Halloween promotion is going on right now with scary helmets and pumpkin carving contest. That's always my favorite.
Gefühl ist gut
I think
bisher.
every single winner we've ever had
Sind coole
has been
Sachen
from
dabei.
Texas. I don't know why that is, but they take their pumpkin carving very seriously down there.
Chip Talk wird halt noch interessant.
Chip Talk wird interessant und das, was jetzt kommt, wird sehr, sehr interessant.
Presentation. Now, I'm going to set this one up here. I'm going to put this, I'm going to make the audio guy, I was holding it in my hand because I got up. I'm just going to put it there. It's going to be safe. Resource management. What did I want to say about this? Okay. When I backed the project back in 2013, 2014, before I came here, the thing that excited me most about Star Citizen was the potential for multi-crew gameplay. That positional experience of a captain and a navigator and an engineer and a comms person and run down to the
Endlich mal einer, der sagt.
put out a fire and something's exploding in the cargo hold. You got to go and you fix the fuses and stuff like this. That multi-crew experience has been what drew me to the project, first as a backer until I came in to do this on a spaceship. Did I mention I have a spaceship? I have a spaceship. And if you're like me, on our 10-year journey, I've been wondering when's going to be the day. Where are we at with this stuff? Well, Dan Truffin and Thorsten Lyman are here to talk about the actual working prototypes of the resource management system, the thing that will make true multi-crew gameplay possible, and the last big hurdle to getting those capital ships.
4.0,
So
habe ich gehört.
buckle up.
Hat er gesagt?
Eyes forward.
Hat er gesagt. Er hat
and
gesagt,
take
alles,
it
was
away.
heute
Alles-
besprochen wird, 4.0.
Alles kommt